Welcome to the of two podcasts featuring Edmonton business owners who have turned their passion for finding hidden treasures into economic benefits for their business. This is part of our theme of using other people's money. So whether it's a yard sale or an auction or buying and selling on Kijiji, other people leave money on the table. That's someone with astute observation, vision, creativity, negotiating skills, and the ability to assess intrinsic value will snap up. Our first treasure hunter is Jeff Hilprecht of Trident Photography. Jeff loves treasure hunting, pinball collecting, problem solving, building stuff, and socializing. He also operates at a very high level of energy and is centered on a spiritual core. Welcome, Jeff.
Hello, Stuart. Thanks for having me.
So let's start with a brief understanding of your primary business. What's Trident Photography?
Well, I've been a professional photographer for 18 years, and what I do is I create images that establish you as an expert in your field and give you instant credibility, and therefore provide you the opportunity to have power of influence over the buying decisions of your customers by making you, your product, and your business more appealing to them.
It's going to be interesting to see how treasure hunting fits into this. So how did you get started in the first place, finding this cool stuff and great deals?
Well, I've always loved treasure hunting. Basically, as a kid, I used to love to go to garage sales and get things because that's where I could afford to buy toys, right? I didn't grow up in a wealthy family, so I would buy cool stuff at garage sales for like a dime versus in the store.
So are there some hidden gems that had the best impact on your business that you want to tell us about?
In terms of business-wise, when I first started 18 years ago getting into photography, I bought a lot of my lenses secondhand through eBay or that sort of realm online, because you were able to get a lens for, a fraction of the price, probably about half of what you would normally pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
Then as my business evolved, I realized that those really weren't great deals in the sense that you're buying cheap glass, right? So now everything I shoot is all on L series glass, which are all between $1,200 and $10,000 per lens. So eventually you have to spend the good money anyway. So certain things you can go cheap on and certain things you can't.
Right. So being able to assess quality is important when you're looking for a deal.
Right. But just starting out, it's enough to get going, right? I mean, as your craft evolves in photography especially, you realize the importance of good glass. You don't understand that buying a lens for $75 that goes from 70 millimeters to 300 millimeters, you think, wow, that's a great range. It is for the average Joe consumer who just wants a good zoom lens to shoot professionally. I mean, that doesn't cut it at all.
Mm-hmm. So where do you find your best deals nowadays?
I mostly go deal hunting, not so much for my business, but for me personally.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I just love to find the treasures. I never know what I'm looking for until I see it. Honest to God, on the way here to meet with you, I stopped in at a garage sale because I saw a sign. I'm like, oh, hey, let's see what these guys have.
Cool.
And it was all junk, so I didn't buy anything.
Good. So you know how to walk away.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What about auctions? Is that another place, or is...
You can get stuff at auction. I typically don't go to auction because I find people tend to pay more at auctions.
Yeah.
Like
They get caught up in the bidding and all that?
Yeah. I mean, occasionally you'll get just some anomaly where nobody wants it. And you're like, really? Are you guys... Nobody wants this? This is valuable.
Yeah.
I mean, in fact, I was at a community garage sale the other day, and there was like a free bin out front. And in that free bin was a whole bunch of vacuum cleaner parts from Rainbow. And I don't know if you're familiar with a Rainbow vacuum, but these are like $3,000 vacuums, right? There was a new water pan and 2 hoses, a powered hose, a regular hose, powered stair head, and a bunch of different little attachments, crevice tools, and things like that. I'm like, there's like $400 worth of parts in here in the free bin.
Yeah.
So I took it because I have a Rainbow.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Any cautionary tales about examples that you want to share in terms of treasure hunting that might go wrong?
I would say the things that could go wrong is if you buy something that you're not very familiar with on how it should work, and you get something that doesn't work, right? A lot of times, like gift cards is something that you should be wary of, right?
Yeah.
Because I've bought in gift cards, but I've gone to the store with the person to verify the amount on the card, and then had it transferred to a new card.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've heard that, and it's never happened to me, but I've heard that if somebody bought a gift card and they still have the receipt,
Mm-hmm.
they can cancel it via that receipt. So if I gave you $75 for a $100 gift card, we verified that as $100 on it. Well, now you go and you can cancel it from your receipt
Oh,
with those numbers, and now it's invalid.
wow.
So there are some things you got to be wary of.
Yeah. And sometimes, in garage sales and sometimes even in Kijiji, when you meet up with somebody, either buyer or seller, there's a certain negotiating. How do you know when to walk away? What's your rule?
Well, I've sold a few things, and I find as a seller on Kijiji, people are almost ludicrous. You'll list something for a decent price, and they'll come in and lowball you at half what you're asking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's say you've got, for example, a television worth $400. You're selling it for $100. Someone will come in and say, "Oh, I'll give you $30 for that." You're like, "Why did you even come here? It's listed at $100, and now you're saying $30? Like, are you crazy? Like, what's wrong with you?"
There's certain unstated rules that not everybody understands, right?
Well, and you know what? Some people, that's how they negotiate. Personally, I look at stuff. One thing I did just buy for my business was I needed a new bag for my camera.
Mm-hmm.
I had a low pro bag, which is a really good bag, and it's a really big bag, and it holds a whole bunch of stuff. But my zipper had blown on it, so it kept parting. You know when a zipper parts in the middle?
I hate that.
Yeah, because it was worn out, right? I mean, it's probably 10 years old now.
Yeah.
And I saw the exact same bag someone was offering online for $100. And I mean, I was just looking at new bags, and they were between $400 and $500 new.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to have a look at it. It's in great condition. So for $100, I didn't argue at all. I didn't, try to get them down to 75, or because you know what, for me, $100 is a good value for that bag.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Excellent.
If you'd have listed it at 150 or 200, I might have not. But you listed at 100, I thought that was fair. I'm not going to say give it to me for 70 or give it to me for 50.
Well, you never know where your path isn't going to cross with that person again. And if they've had a good, if both people walk away with the feeling that they got a good deal out of it, then,
Exactly.
yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it's seldom I try to, haggle people down on a price unless I think they're asking too much. But then I'll usually call ahead of time. Like, I don't want to go there in person and waste my time in there.
Right.
I'm like, you've got this listed at 180. Would you take 150?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, I'll buy it for that.
Yeah, that's good. Well, some great tips, and it's been entertaining and educational for me as always, Jeff. And so for you folks that are listening, if you enjoyed the podcast, or if you didn't enjoy the podcast, or you have your own treasure hunting suggestions, please let us know. Comments below here where we posted this. Next week, we're going to interview another Edmonton business owner and treasure hunter who found some shocking deals with his electrical business. Thank you.